let me look at now the next subject, which is, if you have good character, from what you have said, you assess yourself, you have good character. What is it that could make somebody of good character finally end up with a bad character? What are the threats to good character? What are the threats to good character? Number one, self-centeredness. Although you know what it is to have good character, the moment you become too conscious about yourself, become self-centered, you will certainly end up spoiling your good character. And unfortunately, to be fair to ourselves, fallen man, I don't know of any man who is not self-centered. So to have good character, you have to declare war on yourself. Every time you're about to make a decision, wait a minute. Am I making that decision because of what I will gain or because it's good for the group? What's the issue? Am I trying to do this so that my boss likes me, so that he promotes me? Or is it good for this group of people that I'm leading? Self-centeredness will create quite a big problem. The next thing that will destroy your good character is social pressure. Not too long ago, I was invited by some young people to talk about peer pressure. And I told them, we normally use peer pressure to imply it's a young people's problem. I'm in my 70s and I've seen my age mates doing things due to peer pressure. You lost your wife, then your age mate married a small girl, and you say, yeah, even me. That is called peer pressure. Because you have not assessed. She could come and make your life hell. in the few years that are making it. But you are doing it because you saw others doing it. Oh, your friend buys some plot in Gong. You don't even have enough money. You sell good property to go and buy land in Gong, and you have no money to develop it. But you are doing it due to pressure. Ever heard of the story of the animals that met together at night and they agreed that they must beat their wives that night? Then when they went, I think it's a hyena, decided to beat a drum. And beat a drum, all the neighboring animals had. The wife of hyena is being, so they also started killing theirs. Only to discover the following morning, hyena's wife was still alive. Now, that's a story about peer pressure. What is it you are doing, my brother? Because that's what managers do. I'm the manager. Don't you have respect for me? Really, what's driving you is social pressure, because you have a title. People do not, and it can be a problem, where you are a manager. Therefore, you cannot take tea with your juniors. Have you seen managers like that? They must bring you tea in your own corner. In the process, you have no idea what is happening in your office. If you had gone for the tea place, you would have heard what they are saying, isn't it? You will be able to read them better, isn't it? But I'm a manager. Surely, you eat the same tea, same cow milk. But social pressure. Oh, I'm a man. I can't do that. You know, my wife is a university lecturer, and she had just got a consultant to teach someone. And somebody was saying how he almost died. He's diabetic, and he almost died because the wife got sick and he could not take breakfast. So by the time they are coming for the workshop, he had eaten nothing. I don't know why he chose to tell the class. So I said, why didn't you eat? But my wife was sick. I said, don't you know how to cook? Hey, what if somebody found me cooking? There are men like that. Some of them are seated here. They are risking their sugar level going down so that nobody sees them going into the kitchen. Their own kitchen. Even the fridge is the one who bought. Even but he is dying. Social pressure. Because you see, and my wife asked, isn't there a door? Yes. Another one in the kitchen? Yes. Why don't you lock all of them, then go even eat in the kitchen? They will never, and if somebody is coming, they will knock. Then you go and open, but don't allow them into the kitchen. How can you go hungry? Because you are afraid people will see you. I don't have very good examples for women, but they suffer the same, isn't it? Yeah. We are told by somebody, somebody at your seniority, why are you keeping a man? Huh? What's wrong with you? You have enough salary to run your own life, and you are keeping a man, and your husband is not even earning your money. You say, are you okay upstairs? The pressure is such that evening you go and your husband tells you, give me a cup of tea. You think I'm your house girl. Now, the divorce has started from peer pressure. Because in the end, you are the one going to end up single. And it all came from being a foolish woman. You listen to people you should not have listened to. Culture and traditions have already given a good example, isn't it? They will destroy the law of competition. Here, you understand what you're talking about. One of the most dangerous words to character is comparisons. Comparing yourself with others. I did my KP in 1967. I went to high school. Those days, most of the schools were led by white people. And we had a headmaster who said he doesn't see why you need to compare yourself with others. So from 1968, when I was a Form 1, to date, I have never been in a place where they say, what number were you? It's not necessary. Our parents were told that the report form will have 3 columns. One column is the marks for the term. The next column is the continuous assessment. And in the 60s, that was very advanced. Now it's normal. It was a very new thing. The third one was the percentage improvement. Our parents were told, don't worry about the first 2. What about the third one? If somebody had done A the previous week, term, now he gets a B, it will be a D in the improvement, isn't it? And he says, once somebody is going down, you have no where they will reach. This other one who had a D and now has a C will get an A on improvement, isn't it? The parents were told, if you want to reward your children, don't worry about the marks they got. Worry about whether they are improving. That's the way. Even when I got children, we have three children. I refuse to give them prizes because they are cleverer. I said, being clever is God's gift. Sure, the gift should go to God. What I'm after is your improvement. So even if you are clever, do better. And of course, the worse you are, the greater the chances of getting a prize. Because the critical thing is not the grade, it's whether it is improvement from previous term. That's why I gave my prizes. Those are many years ago. Our last born is more than 40 years. So I'm talking about many years ago. But I learned it from my Muzungu, isn't it? Yeah. This issue of competition. And it's not necessary. It's not necessary to compete, because if you compete against yourself, you are likely to go places. When I finished Form 6, I became a high school teacher. The schools we used to call Harambes. Most of you never found them. Yeah. Now, in my Harambe class, you had number 1 and number last. Number 1 was thought to be very good, isn't it? When they did Form 4, number 1 had that division. I had just come from Alliance, and number last had better marks than number first in the other one. So when you are in Harambe school and you start feeling clever, you are done. What about if you stop competing with your classmates, start competing with yourself? So you'll keep improving.
Yes.
Can you see the power?
Yes.
So don't compare yourself with the other officer. Are you doing better this year than you did last year? If you don't bother what is happening around you, you set a good example, you'll have good character, because you are not being influenced negatively by the law of competition. Remember, you're talking about how to maintain a character that gives you influence so that you can be transformational. And we can talk about metaphysical forces, spiritual forces, and their influence on your character. That's why when you're in Shakahora, there are things you do that don't make sense. And you end up with bad character.